But are we maybe looking a little too far ahead? Should we pull it back one step? Should we even be talking about gender identity if we can't even talk about safe sex yet? Because what's taught in sex education, don't do it. Don't do it.
Everything's
abstinence,
it's abstinence.
Don't do it.
And that's a real problem.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, again, when you take a look at the evidence in terms of what works, what's very clear is that comprehensive sex education that involves talking about abstinence, but also talking about being faithful and also talking about use of condoms and contraceptives is far more effective in terms of delaying the beginning of sexual activity, in terms of being safe and so forth, than is abstinence only. I mean, Sarah Palin ought to know this.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, she's got a living example in her own household.
We've got a blog.
We have a blog about this.
Okay, let me read this to you. Recently, I signed up as a volunteer to give talks at secondary schools, JCs, and polys to raise AIDS awareness. It seems that talking about A, contraception, and B, homosexuality, is frowned upon. Abstinence is the only sexual thing that the authorities are happy for volunteers to talk about. So, safe sex is not important. All you're told is
No sex.
no
Don't
sex.
do it. Yeah.
No sex.
Hello, kids. Welcome to sex education. Don't do it. End of class.
It's the shortest period you have. There was a survey done of youth from ITE. 30% thought that washing their genitals after sex prevented pregnancy.
Huh?
15% think urinating after sex prevents pregnancy. 16% think exercising after sex prevents pregnancy.
Are we talking about ITE students here?
These are ITE students, okay?
Me.
So they're old enough.
1 in 4 youth that were surveyed are sexually active. Half of them don't use condoms or any form of contraception.
There's also been a rise in sexually transmitted diseases amongst teenagers. STI Control reported that cases rise 3 to 5% each year. Now, last year there were more than 800 new cases of infection amongst youth.
And just one other figure that is very relevant, okay? 12% of abortions in Singapore are by teenagers.
Yep.
Wow.
Scary figures, aren't they?
8 years of sex education, compulsory sex education in our schools. What's going on?
What's going on?
Why isn't it working?
From a teacher's point of view, there's a lot of things that we have to teach. I mean, a teacher is basically an all-rounder. We not only have to teach, the academics, we also have to help our students in terms of their social and personal development. So a teacher's plate is very full. Now, the problem is, are teachers willing to go out on a limb and talk about an issue of which MOE has no clear stance, or have a very clear stance of not wanting to talk about it, and then risk the chance of parent feedback and saying, okay, you're doing something that you shouldn't do, and I'm going to complain to MOE.
I mean, okay, if sex education has become compulsory, right? We in secondary 2, in fact, we learned about sex education and how to stop it and how to prevent HIV and STDs.
What did they teach you?
What did they teach you? Did they physically...
No.
No. Let me finish. How did they show you?
Books. I mean, we learned through the books. Yeah.
But what was taught to you?
What was actually
in
taught?
sex education?
Okay, as far as I can remember, because I don't remember much.
Because you weren't paying attention, because it was a teacher teaching you.
I was, because we got tested on it later. The thing is, we were taught about stuff like gonorrhea and, syphilis, or yes.
Were you taught how to use contraceptives, for example?
No. I mean, not how to use them, but, wait. Yes, I think so. Oh, man.
No, wait. Okay, I remember this topic. Okay?
Here is the point. Whether they've been taught or not, they don't remember.
I seriously remember that Sec 2, when I was in Sec 2, because I had such an awesome teacher. And no, they did not teach you how to use it. They just talk about it.
How to prevent, STDs
it's
and stuff
all
like that.
through books and stuff.
Okay, the reason why I brought this up is very simple. I was involved with a book company that had a series of books on sex education. And part of the kit was physical rubber models.
Oh, I think that's good.
Of
Yes,
penis?
but you know, yes, and other things. And you will not believe the expressions on teachers' faces when this was presented. It was, how am I even going to pick this up? How do I deal with this?
Anxiety.
Would it be possible to have specific people trained just to handle sex education so that they become more relatable to you?
Is that possible in
I think
the
those are
education
skills
system?
that can actually be imparted, and people can be selected specially for this purpose. Who like maybe even from the group of counselors, they can actually go for special training and talk about sensitivity towards sexual issues, religious sensitivities even, and what to be taught, what not to be taught.
I wish
I'd
I
love
had
to
another
continue
word.
talking about sex all day, but it's what I do in
Yes,
my
I know
spare
you
time. But we have to wrap up. We have to wrap up. So, final question for everyone. Can you list me 3 things that you would like to be included in sex education in schools?
Okay, we should really get live, like people who have gone through those stuff, like people who have gone through abortion and people who had kids and stuff. I think they should come down live models
examples
now.
work.
Yeah, and the last one which I would suggest is having sort of like he said, the small group talks and stuff, so that we can really understand what we are really going through and what we are listening to and stuff like that.
What would you like to see? 3 things in sex education.
Well, I think it's absolutely essential to have the biological facts there and to be honest about them, and complete about them. I think it's very important to teach respect for differences, to realize that sexual expression does have a variety of ways in which it manifests itself. And to not be judgmental about that.
I think it's very important to be included is gay sex, specifically safe anal sex and oral sex. The other thing is that I think religion should be left out of the discussion because everybody would have a different opinion about it. And finally, I do agree that if you want to know about gay people, ask a gay person.
Yes, very true.
I fully agree with that.
I have no idea whether Singapore is ready for such open, sex education. My one thought is I don't have 3 things. I want one separate, non-examinable module.
Oh yes.
And the operative term here is non-examinable. They will learn more if it is non-examinable, because there won't be so much stress, and make it a totally separate module. It's very important.
I think, all I want to see is an environment created. You can't teach it. You can't teach not to judge. You have to create a non-judgmental environment where everyone, nerds, jocks, gay, straight, brown, black, yellow, you feel comfortable to be yourself in that environment, and I think that's the only way to empower people.
You see why I like this guy?
Oh, I feel so much love in the room.
They're really cool.
That's it for Blog TV. I'm Pin.
I'm the Flying Dutchman.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.